Welcome everybody to Rebels React to The Mandalorian Season 1, Chapter 8.
Redemption.
The season finale. And...
Not to be confused with Red Dead Redemption.
No, not at all. Maybe similar. It's kind of a Western.
Yeah, no, which I love that they use the word redemption.
Yeah. Okay. We talked to my dad a little bit before this.
Yep.
Gave our minor thoughts on this episode. You were somewhat positive. I was somewhat negative, and we came to the conclusion of, like, if we had to boil it down to one word, it would be weird.
Yeah.
Do you still
Well, I don't. So I think so. If I would to elaborate on this episode a little bit more, I would say that there was some really good stuff and some really weird stuff. Like it was a weird back and forth where I was like kept being like, oh, okay, cool, that's cool, okay.
I would argue
Wasn't expecting that. It was kind of like
that.
Ooh, but
everything except for the very last thing, even if it was cool, was still weird. For me, we are going to talk spoilers about this episode, so if you haven't seen it, don't listen.
Start me out.
So the whole weird, like, 5-minute scene of the two troopers just talking to each other.
Yes,
while it was hilarious, I couldn't help but sit there thinking, like, why are we still doing this? This is the season finale. It's, to begin with, shorter than I thought it was going to be, and a good chunk of it is just two scout troopers just talking.
So I forgot about that part.
Yeah,
because it was bizarre, and it
I
was
admit fully very funny.
It was definitely that feeling though that you said of like, oh, we're still here, oh, we're still doing this, okay. And
I had that feeling throughout a lot of this episode.
I'm disappointed in how the him landing and all these stormtroopers and you have till night, and then not, and then it just
didn't pay off for me.
It was so real quick before we get into the details.
Yeah.
After watching this now, I think I'm okay with it because Season 1 is very much a prologue or like a prequel at this point.
Yeah.
Now that we have the whole package.
Yeah.
And for that reason, this episode's good. But it reframes the entire show for me. Whereas it felt like episodes 4 through 8 were going to be Season 2. But instead, we got episodes 4 through 8.
Episodes 1 through 3, 7, and 8 were like a Season 1, Part 1.
Except that's like maybe what we expected or what we our gut reaction after watching the first few episodes was. But to be completely fair, we never knew what this was going to be. They never claimed it to be anything.
For sure.
And so if I take a step back and just look at this Season 1 as a whole, I'm good with it.
I just to be fully,
it's dipping the toe.
Honest, I'm let down.
Yeah.
But
no, and I think a lot of people are going to be.
Like, Season 1 is over.
Yep.
It's done. We've seen it all. It was very short.
Yeah.
And I just feel like not a whole lot happened. However,
it didn't. No, a lot didn't happen.
Got the most amazing thing ever.
Yep.
In Baby Yoda.
So the reason that I feel like it's a prologue is because like we just got his name at the end. Like, and I didn't want his helmet to come off any sooner. Spoilers, his helmet comes off in this episode. They handle it perfectly. It's arced throughout the first season.
I like the way his helmet came off. Made perfect sense.
Yep.
Wasn't satisfied by it. I don't know why. Nothing in this episode was satisfying for me. Everything that they might have hinted at or you might have felt coming or anything like badass was just fell flat. I don't know why.
Because we haven't established anything. This is new. This is all new. This is like for the first time, maybe Rogue One and maybe Force Awakens, but it cheated because it had a lot of other stuff. Like, this is the first time they've done something like this.
I get it's different.
Well, no, so it's like, that was partly why I didn't want his helmet to come off.
At this point, I wish I hadn't.
Because it would have been more epic or more hit harder if it had been 3 seasons and then it happened.
Right.
But I think they can still, depending on how they take this in season 2. So yeah, if I think of one scene, the whole scene where he's in the village, or the flashback to him being a child, yeah, like that felt like it was supposed to be very like intense and stuff.
But even that went on for so long.
And I'm just like, wow,
we're still walking through the village.
They're just running around this village trying to survive.
Yeah, there's more ships and more droids trying to kill us still.
Yeah, it's a lot of like, do we need to see all this acting? Like,
and then the payoff of the Mandalorians rescuing him. This is our fault because we were both like, is that one of the Fetts? Like, when I was seeing timeline, can't be Jango.
See, and I wasn't
can't be Boba either.
I was just like, is this Boba Fett?
Right.
I was like, I wasn't even thinking about it because it felt like they were trying to like give us something like that.
And yeah, that rescue was cool, but I was just like, okay. I mean, I guess I could have figured that's what happened.
And other things I thought about when they were showing this, I was like, oh, okay. So this is like, they definitely on paper, boom, 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 and we watched it all play out. So it was episode 1, fuzzy hint of flashback. Episode 3, more flashback. And then in the final episode, we'll show you the whole
scene,
uncut scene. Yeah, like that's how this entire show was structured.
Right.
You know, episode 1, IG-11, da-da-da-da, dead. Okay, then we get in episode 7, his redemption. No, episode 7, his return. And then in this episode, his redemption.
Redemption.
Right off the bat.
Is he the redemption?
I think it's
multiple people.
I think it's a general.
I think he's the biggest redemption
sentiment. Yeah, for sure. And
oddly,
that was really the crux of this episode, and based on this episode, the entire season, because they focus on Mando's hate of droids. We know that's because of we assume that's because of him being attacked in the village. We get commentary throughout the season. And then in this episode, it's like he finally bonds with the droid. And not only that, doesn't want him to sacrifice himself and doesn't want him to leave.
It felt again weird to me because in episode 1, you see that he doesn't like droids.
Yep.
He then meets IG-11.
Yep.
Works with him.
Yep.
And you kind of think they're going to work together for a while until you see that he's going to kill Baby Yoda, so he kills him. Okay?
Yes.
Fine. IG-11's gone. He returns to hating droids. IG-11 comes back, repeatedly says, I don't like droids. I don't trust you. I hate droids. Droids. I hate droids. And then, at the end of this episode, when IG-11's about to go and sacrifice himself, he's almost crying because he's going to do it.
Some stuff happens. In between
not much since the last time he said, I don't trust that droid. Honestly, not a whole lot.
Very monumental things happen. Some like massively monumental to his character. Did you not pick up on them? Like, that's what they were. So he saved his life.
I understand he saved his life.
Dead.
Yeah.
So literally that. Like, he saved his life. A droid saved his life. Like, that's the ultimate.
But
I'm not saying
he has a switch. It's on or off. It's nothing in between.
What?
It's I hate droids or you're my best friend. I'm going to cry if you die.
But this was the first time that we saw that. Because it was like that happened and then that happened. It doesn't have a lot of time to.
I just don't understand why he swung so far back the other way. Because he worked with him in the first episode. So he just went straight back to complete hatred
with him, but he was never like buddy with him.
I thought they were a good team.
No, they were. But if you really like go back and look at that scene, like it's boom, it's quick, they shoot and it happens. It was an awesome scene for us. We really liked that.
We kind of got the same scene again in this one.
Yeah,
picking up a turret and shooting some stuff again.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, is he gonna jump on that and spin around again?
It's original.
But the scope of this is smaller than I think we thought going in. But I'm okay because I have a sense. And if you look at pretty much every single Star Wars show so far, Clone Wars season 1,
Bad, arguably.
setup. It's
Yeah.
a setup. It's fleshing out the feel, the look, all that kind of stuff with very minor arcs. And then it picks up
Like
from
the
there.
season itself is a pilot.
Exactly. Rebels, same thing. I think I just have that vibe with this. And based on what they set up at the end of this episode, sounds like next season is some massive stuff. So they talk about this Baby Yoda species.
Yep.
The planet, the Jedi are mentioned. Like, we had a couple planets, this little bounty guild in Navarro, and now like they said goodbye to that. So this was the launch of Disney Plus before anything was established. It's I would say it's a letdown because of what it could have been.
Yeah.
But I'm staying optimistic for the
I'm not
future.
writing off the rest of it by any means.
Yeah. I definitely thought it was going to be bigger as a whole.
Yeah. I want to point out a couple of other comments I had as it was
There's
going
a
on.
bunch of other stuff
Why
that happened.
did IG-11 ride into town with this thing strapped to the front of him?
Because he had it.
Take it back to the ship.
I know.
Wasn't he going that direction?
No.
Why did it take him so long to get there? I was so confused. When he was riding to town, I'm like, huh? I was very confused. He was
Yeah.
at the ship. No, he wasn't. No.
No.
The droids were at the town. Or not the droids. The troopers were at the town. They could see it.
Yeah.
IG-11 kills them,
Yep.
rescues Baby Yoda,
Yep.
and then rides off.
Yep.
The next time we see him,
Yep.
minutes later, he is hauling ass on the speeder and then just arriving to the town. Where did he go?
I'd have to rewatch the timing.
Did he just go do some laps? I thought he was taking Baby Yoda back to the ship. And then he arrives back at the town, still with Baby Yoda. Why?
I don't know. The timing didn't bother me too much. If I just remember like that, I was just like, oh, he's there now. I don't know. That didn't stand out. I'd have to rewatch it.
I thought it was very strange. Now, it was
Yeah.
cool when he comes in and starts like blowing stuff up.
So that was the part I was gonna say was odd that I wasn't expecting.
Still weird.
I was like,
It was cool looking.
He's gonna kill every single one of these stormtroopers just perfectly.
Yeah.
Like it felt cheap. I think the reason it's not supposed to feel cheap is because of his arc and his return. But it was just like, wait, they were stuck.
Right.
And now you killed all of them.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't like surgical.
They just ran.
They
were just like,
blew stuff up.
Move, run, like.
Oh, but first they ran out of the building to shoot some stuff with him. And then somehow none of them got shot in that process, even though they were all running around, picking each other up, dragging each other.
What is Carl Weathers' character?
I have no idea.
I keep forgetting his name.
It's a weird name, I think, but
It's something with a G. Garth.
Garfield.
Garth. Something.
Garth Vader.
No.
Sure.
Greed Cardiff.
Grief Karga.
Yeah, he's just standing there.
Okay, so IG-11.
Bang.
Okay, hold on. Let's establish something.
As there's bullets flying everywhere.
We
he's
have a Moff of the Empire out there with his TIE fighter. Hundreds of stormtroopers.
However,
Death Troopers.
yeah.
IG-11
not
is out
hundreds.
there.
Definitely not hundreds.
Let's say 100.
I would say less than 100.
There's a lot.
I would say there's like 40 stormtroopers.
Let's go with 50 then, okay?
No.
There's 50 stormtroopers.
There's less than 50 stormtroopers. There's like 43 to
a
44.
row of Death Troopers.
Yes.
This dude with his TIE fighter.
Yeah.
And IG-11, who arguably could hold his own for a while, except he has this thing strapped to his stomach.
Yeah.
So that makes him a little bit
Well, no,
vulnerable.
but
the Mandalorian goes out.
He spun around.
Has deflective armor. Okay. So that makes sense. Cara Dune then goes out. You might
She
die.
was still inside. She
did go outside though. And then you're right. Carl Weathers goes out and is just shooting stuff. At least half of them should have been dead.
Yeah. But that would defeat the point.
Then it doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
What do you mean it would defeat the point? If they died, it would defeat the point?
Yeah.
Because they're supposed to live?
Yeah.
Then don't put them in situations where they really should be dead.
But the beginning of the episode showed us that none of them know how to hit anything.
The Death Troopers don't either? What were they doing?
They were he killed them all. There was only like
He did not.
There was only like the one other Death Trooper that went around the side to eventually blow the hole into the building. That was when Cardoon got, because she was still inside shooting when they blew the hole in the side.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So and then they all go back inside. They all just kind of like back in, and whatever Moff Gideon is like, okay, just wait him out. It's okay. We got this. Just wait him out. Flame him out, or whatever he says.
It was still. This was after IG-11 came through.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they go back in, and he's ridiculous. Just still like, it's okay. We got this. We'll just send in this one flame trooper.
Yeah, they really did just send in one guy.
And he does start lighting stuff up. Oh, they would have cooked if Baby Yoda hadn't done something we've already seen, sort of. That wasn't satisfying to me either.
No, it really wasn't.
So then they were able to escape into these tunnels.
That's what he does.
And
the Mandalorian tunnels.
Around.
Wasn't for that long.
No one's in a rush in this show.
Yeah, they're really not that.
Ever. We're going to walk through the desert. We're going to walk through these prison halls. We're going to walk through these sewers. Even though inevitable doom is right behind us, we're just going to walk.
So the point in this that I was really feeling that was when they eventually walk through all this and they're on the little boat in the lava. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, this is the part of the video game where you get on the little platform and then you have to fight all the enemies while
on the sides.
While it's just moving.
Yeah.
And but backing up a little.
So another we're still doing this moment was no, leave me, go. Come with us. No, leave me, go. Come with us. No, I have to stay here. Okay, I'm going with you, but you come with us. No, leave me. God, how many times? He asked the chick with the helmet at least twice to come with them. She said no. And then you said you were staying, and now you're coming again.
I thought you were talking about when he was dying.
That too. I mean, that's when it kind of kicked off.
When did he almost die?
When he got blown up, when Gideon shot the
So that was before
power
the sewers.
source. Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm losing track on the order of events in this.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't know. That got tiring to me. And then when he finally gets his signet,
yes,
which is the Mudhorn,
mm-hmm.
which had already been discussed,
yes,
as being his signet,
but he rejected it.
Yeah,
because he didn't feel he could accept it, because he didn't feel like he had earned it.
But now that she calls him his dad, now he can accept it?
Yes. Because he's officially taken on the role of caretaking for this thing.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's what episodes 4, 5, 6 are about, is his thought process changing from what it was in 2 or 3, where he said, I won't take this, to now, like, officially, I'll die to save the kid, essentially. It again, all of it could have been done better.
Yeah.
But I think that's what they're going for.
I do understand that.
Yeah. But it's not super clear. There
wasn't an arc of that. They were just episodes showing that he cares for it. He didn't start caring for it more. After episode 3, he was really just like pedal to the metal, like I'm caring for this thing.
I think one underneath here is good, but it very much feels like Favreau, not in a good and bad way, like they just picked out all their major points and then kind of put a show together on top of it.
Yeah.
And that doesn't really always work. And then that top piece has a bunch of cool Star Wars fan service stuff, and I don't want to use that word because I think fan service is good.
Yeah.
But I feel like every time that word is used, it's in a negative connotation.
And it can be overt sometimes, and it can be done perfectly.
Sprinkle that stuff on there.
Yeah.
And a bunch of obscure references, and like in episode 7, I love that troop transport that was like an old toy.
Yeah.
And like
That's cool.
they're killing it with that kind of stuff. And just the fact that his gun is from like the holiday special.
Right.
Like all that stuff, I love it.
See, episode 7 felt good.
Yeah.
It felt like we were going in a good direction. And then this one, directed by Taika,
Yeah.
felt very odd. Like, I felt like he was focusing too much on humor and not on the gravity of the situation that episode 7 left us on.
But see,
Because everything was just like missed the mark a little bit. Everything was clunky and just bizarre.
This is my problem always with TV, is that they're designed episode by episode.
Right.
And so episodes always end with suspense and everything's built up. And then I'm always like, especially when you binge, is like all of that is about to be deflated. Because when
Completely.
I start, and that's in every show. Hell, in Dragon Ball,
Yeah.
they'll do that.
'Cause you have to
Where
reset.
in the midst of, well, because normally people have gone through a week. They're not still in that same emotional state. And
Right.
so when you start the next episode, we get 5 minutes of Scout Troopers talking to ease you into the episode. But when you look at it, like when you take a step back, especially it being Star Wars, like, no, yeah, the last episode did such a good job of that gravity. And this episode, like, for a week, I was like, oh, for a week, we are going to be without Baby Yoda.
Right.
But they'll probably get him back in the next episode. Like, I don't know, maybe not. And it's like,
But
before anything happens, he's back. Right? It's so
yes, because
all
why
the
didn't
stakes are gone.
the troopers go into the town? They
what
had
did what did they
thing
say?
he wanted.
Oh, no. They said, hold on, right? Like they called in.
Why?
I
They
don't know.
had Baby Yoda, which is all Moff Gideon wants.
Yeah, it was
Why didn't they
so-
say, we have the kid?
It was so
They were worried
weird.
about getting killed, but you have literally the only thing he wants.
Yeah, it was really weird how they kept hitting it.
It's punching it,
Like-
which pissed me off.
It pissed me off because I was because I was hoping it was gonna start force choking them,
Right.
but it didn't. It just was like sad.
Episode 7 leaves, you see the two speed off with him, and you're like, oh no. They're going to take him to Moff Gideon.
Even
Because you don't know that these two guys are idiots yet. They haven't spoken. All they've done is kill a character we really love and take him Baby Yoda. Pretty good job.
in an impressive like drift scoop move.
Oh, yeah.
That in this episode they're just like, I don't know. I just kind of like went by
And then-
I scooped him up.
Do you know what they did?
I threw him in my bag.
It was like a 99-yard rush, and at the goal line, they were showboating and dropped it right at the goal line and fumbled it.
Which
Why?
has happened
I know.
in football.
But why? Did they do? Every time that happens, you say, why? You're an idiot.
Let's think.
This is stupid.
Because they're scout troopers.
Think how much they'll be praised and rewarded if they
Well,
take
no.
him the only thing he wants.
I mean, they're inherently like,
Stupid?
yeah.
Except they showed that they were successful.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
Oh my God. Anyways, getting back, he gets his signet of the Mud Trooper,
Yes.
and then also gets a jetpack.
Yeah. Which I wasn't expecting.
I wasn't either.
But I'm happy he looks really cool with the jetpack.
Yeah, she told him it was going to take him a long time to learn how to use. It will defy you until you fully learn how to use this thing.
and then first opportunity, we're using it.
Full success.
Yeah. I was thinking about that too. Damn.
Should we get to one of the most horrific things in all of Star Wars?
So I know. So I'm not down on this episode as much as you are. Even though like
You're understanding some flaws in it though, right?
I am, but I'm also like, if I just think about it, like I was good with it.
Yeah.
Like we can nitpick it and like but no, like the whole them like walking. The walking's never really bothered me.
I can forgive the walking. There's much bigger problems.
Well, no, I'm thinking about it. Like even the jetpack thing, I'm like, I don't care about that. Because I was thinking about this while it was happening, and I was like, okay, He used it when he needed to use it.
It's not rewarding. There's no payoff.
I agree, but does him using his jetpack for the first time need to be a big payoff?
Kind of.
Or is it just cool to see him use the jetpack?
It is cool, but it's not
Like,
fulfilling at all.
Is it ever going to be?
Then why give us the line of this is you have to master this thing?
To
Just
make
don't
it
say that.
impressive that he used it? Like I'm that's what I'm trying to figure out. It's like the same thing with the helmet. Like, is that ever going to be satisfying? I don't think it is. It's not like Boba Fett taking his helmet off. That is going to be satisfying.
Yeah.
Because of a whole lot of stuff. Because it's, oh my God, look, and it's the clone guy. And oh my God, this is the first time we've ever seen Boba Fett take his helmet off and like all this kind of stuff. This is never going to be that. It just doesn't have. So it's like, I think just doing that stuff is better. Like, yeah, they should probably change the lines. Cause like, I was definitely thinking that when he used the jetpack, I was like, wait, why? I thought that he was going to have to like, it's something
fail a little bit with it.
But that has kind of been his MO.
I mean, he even stuck the landing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I thought he was going to.
I loved it though. Cause it's like, that's what he did. He pulled it off. I thought he was going to eat too, but he didn't. He stuck the landing. And I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
He looked cool landing.
Yeah.
I don't need him to smash into the ground and then be like, oh.
I wish he had stumbled a little bit. Honestly.
Well, he did. It wasn't perfect. But he still did it.
He landed on both feet and just like
He
he'd been
stumbled
doing
a
that.
little. Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm okay with it.
He blew the TIE fighter up, even though earlier he said he had no more charges left.
When did he say that?
When he couldn't open the grate to the sewers.
Didn't he get more from her?
Did he?
Did he restock?
Didn't see it.
I don't remember.
Didn't seem like they had much left besides all the melting armor.
Yeah. I don't know.
Her fight scene was sick.
Yeah, that whole... Oh, yeah.
Brutal.
Cracking the helmets open and stuff. Yeah, that was... But again, it's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool.
Why?
It's cool.
Like, why?
And so that's why I'm like...
How is she the only one that lived? Oh,
yeah.
probably because she's that badass. But, like, why is she the only one that lived?
Also, are they all dead?
It seems like it.
And where was she? That
Down there?
But is the minigun
Does
guy
someone
with
have
the
to stay home?
jetpack gone?
Yeah, Iron Man's dead or War Machine's dead. Like,
I don't think so, though.
I think so.
So they're the last two Mandalorians that exist? Like,
I think there might be some more out there, but...
This is getting really
Because
bizarre
I don't
now.
think that guy is recognizable enough to be like, oh, that's that guy.
Because I still need an explanation for why they could all take their helmets off. Oh, we got an explanation. See, okay,
But I'm also confused about it.
My biggest hesitation and thing that I want clarification for is, are they just creating a whole new lore and ignoring what's come before it?
They can't.
But it feels like they are.
Especially with Dave Filoni involved in this. How can you?
It doesn't make any sense. But they in this episode they're like, Mandalorian isn't because you're from Mandalore.
No, they said it's not a race.
It's not a race. It's a creed.
Except it is a race.
And all I'm thinking is, but we've saw many things about Mandalorians being people from Mandalore.
It's a planet. It's people. Like,
But they also acknowledge the planet. They also acknowledge Mandalore. So I'm like, they can't. There's something we're missing here.
Okay, fix it. This would fix it for me. Don't say it's not a race. Say it's more than just a race. It's a creed. Boom. You don't have to be from Mandalore to be a Mandalorian if you adopt that.
That's not what they were saying. And we have to believe that there was a yes.
I know.
So, but rather than be angry at it, there's got to be a reason. Otherwise, it's just they're paying no attention to anything, and they're just like, whatever, just make it up.
You can't do that and then have the ending that they have.
What do you mean?
Which is
and so either they're rewriting canon, which I don't think is happening. So there's still a bunch of stuff that we don't know. They're keeping us in the dark, and maybe they don't even know it yet. But we got a little bit more about the the Purge and the Night of 1,000 Tears, and like they're gonna
Random phrases.
get into stuff. Like maybe it's a creed because the race was genocided, and I don't know if that's a verb, but like something very, very severe happened since Clone Wars. That was my whole suspicion with like all these Mandalorians in hiding.
Right.
Is that they were like literally wiped out.
So then even it's not a race anymore. It's a creed would work for. I'm not saying I know how to write this show because I don't know what is going on in the background, but just to make me not be like, what the F is going on?
I know.
One of those two would make more sense.
And we're not getting it yet. I know. It could be better. It could be better.
Okay, I want to get back to the creepiest thing in all of Star Wars. One of the creepiest things in all of Star Wars that we've seen, which is the R2 unit with arms and legs.
You liked it.
I do like it. It's horrifying.
You didn't,
but
say
I like
it. Did you think it was creepy right away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's super weird. I liked it better with its head off. I want that pop. I want a pop of that thing without its head.
No, I want one with.
I want both.
I want the full on thing.
You can have the head. I'll have it without the head.
It was an astromech droid with arms and legs, and
I guess so it can rub a stick in the lava.
Yeah. It's a gondola. Like gondolier.
It was a river.
Yeah.
So they were moving regardless. Even when they killed it to make it stop, they kept moving.
And it kept moving?
Yeah. So what was he doing?
Maybe they could have gone faster.
Was he steering? Because it was a straight river.
Maybe he was steering. Maybe he got it started. And then they had their momentum.
Yeah. I just want to backtrack real quick to another weird thing, which is they handed the baby to Cara Dune. She's like, oh, I don't do the kid thing or something.
Yeah.
She had already held the baby.
When was she holding it?
When they went down into the... IG handed it to her and said, take care of this. And she took it and then went down. So then when they hand it to her the next time, she's like, oh, ew, no, I don't...
Yeah, I thought that was weird. She did a good job, though. I liked Gina Carano's performance in this.
What was her full name? It was something kind of cool.
Cara Dune?
Yeah. It was like Carolina something Dune
I
or
missed
something.
That.
Yeah, when he was saying all their names.
His name?
No idea.
Din Jang? Din Jong?
He's still just the Mandalorian in IMDb.
Mando?
I don't know. That is so...
Cara Cynthia Dune.
Cara Cynthia?
Dune. Wait for it.
Uh-huh.
Of Alderaan.
I remember that. That was cool.
That.
Wait, is it Cara, one name, Cynthia, second name?
Nope.
Cara Cynthia is the full name? I like it.
Yeah, that's
Cara
cool
Cynthia is a cool name. Din Djarin is his name.
Din Djarin. I think I was close to that.
Cara Cynthia Dune and Din Djarin.
And IG-11. And Baby Yoda.
How do you spell Django?
Jango.
Is it?
Jango.
It is, right? Not DJ?
Ngo and Jingo.
This is as good a time as ever to highlight that Levin commented on our most recent episode. Thank you, Levin, for being
a supporter
of us.
Via comments.
Because in his comment, he said, I hadn't even considered that the Django actor could return to play Boba, but he spelled it DJANGO. But this dude's name
that was Mace Windu.
Is Din... What?
He was also in Django. Mace Windu was in there. He spelled it Django.
Oh my God. Unchained. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is getting weird. This dude's name is Din, D-I-N.
Yeah.
DJARIN.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just saying, are we 100% sure?
Yeah.
Django. That.
I'm 1,000% sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They also said something weird at the end that caught my attention where they were like, and he'll be with all of our enemies.
Yeah.
I'm like, but there aren't Jedis. So how is he going to be with a bunch of Jedis who are your enemies?
They're confused.
Who's confused?
They don't fully know everything. They just know it's all rumors, sort of.
Okay.
Like,
then I get why
wizards and sorcerers and while they were their enemies, like they think they're evil.
Yeah.
Because he's like, is this guy our enemy? And they're like, no. While the sorcerers are our enemies, like this guy is not against us or something. And I think Mando thinks that all Jedi look like him.
That would be crazy. Okay, see,
I think that's where he got
so.
lost in translation. Like, oh,
Yeah.
these are Jedi.
Yeah,
So he thinks taking him back to his planet, he's like, I'm screwed.
yeah.
Because they're all going to lift me in the air and rip me apart or something.
That would be terrifying.
Kind of. But yeah, he's tasked with taking him home if he's
Yes.
not going to raise him as a foundling.
And that's how they set up season 2.
Yes.
Along with, we see, okay.
I have more gripes. When they're coming out of the tunnel,
Damn.
IG-11, right?
Yep.
Walking out
Yep.
to self-destruct. All the stormtroopers pointed at him, not doing anything, not shooting.
Yep. Because they weren't going to kill him.
Everyone that they are supposed
They
to
were
kill is
gonna-
right down the tunnel.
They were going to capture everybody. And they repeatedly said multiple times throughout the entire scene that we can't get captured. So the stormtroopers weren't going to shoot to kill. They were going to capture them. So when he
Who said
walked,
we can't get captured?
IG-11,
Right.
Mando, a bunch of people said we can't get captured.
I don't think the stormtroopers care at all about anybody living except for him.
But I think that they're just they're setting to capture everybody. Like that's because they're not just going to start firing off the chance that they're going to hit him. So I think they're waiting to capture. They're just intimidated. That's how I interpreted that.
Yeah,
So
I guess.
And that's why. So he's like walking out, and they're just like, "Okay, we're gonna capture you." Like
They were kind of firing towards him a lot earlier in the episode.
he was shooting them though. That has happened a lot in Star Wars, where it's we're fighting. All right, now give it up. Like that is I've thought about that many times.
Like in episode 6, like every time you run around a corner and Han's like, I gotcha.
Yeah,
I never did like those.
It's just I was fine with that.
Yeah, I can
what
see what you're saying where like it's dangerous to shoot into this tunnel and maybe hit Baby Yoda, but
Yeah.
they all had a line of sight on everybody that they were looking for.
I think it was intention though. I right like if that like otherwise they would have shot him up immediately. So clearly their order was not to just shoot him immediately. Now, what I was waiting for
Until-
was if his thing went and he was just standing there about to explode, then yeah, they would have shot him. But he exploded immediately.
What's the next thing that happened?
What?
Moff Gideon comes in with his TIE fighter and starts shooting at them.
No, that was after IG-11 exploded.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
what's different?
You just
He's
mean
shooting
in
at
terms
them.
of him. Yeah. Well, he's an idiot.
So are the stormtroopers.
Yeah,
Why didn't they shoot?
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't know. It didn't. I feel like you're getting hung up on stuff that doesn't really matter. I don't know.
It kind of does when that's all that happens.
Is it?
I mean, the impact, the meaning, the stuff that like might happen,
Yeah.
we don't know, is a cool concept. But everything that has happened, kind of weird.
I don't know. I just look at that. I'm like, IG-11 sacrificed himself. Like that was a big moment.
That's and that I was fine
Then
with.
they got
but
out of the tunnel
At the same time,
and-
they could have been doing their job. And if their job was to not shoot, then the Moff didn't obey his own order.
I don't know.
Anyways,
Wait, but what? No, I'm see now. I'm hung up on this of him shooting them.
seems pretty dangerous.
But when I'm watching it, I'm like, not. I'm just like, oh, he's shooting at them.
Right.
Like, that's what's happening. I don't know. Why did that not bother me? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Am I wrong? Like I might be wrong. I will
Yeah.
accept if I'm wrong. But like, do you see what I'm saying? Do you understand like the sort of discrepancy there?
Yeah, I do, but it doesn't bother me.
Because at first I was bothered by them not shooting through the tunnel until you said maybe their orders were not to shoot.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, but wait, hold on. More stronger firepower came in later and then shot at them. So
but
what's going on?
why was he shooting them in the tie?
I don't know.
Because he didn't hit him either. Was like it was he really just gonna blow them all up? Because that's what was gonna happen.
What was his plan then?
Because I think that's the only that like I guess the TIE thing. Yeah, it's why was he shooting at them? But also, in Force Awakens, why did the TIE fighters shoot at them in the village? What if they had blown up BB-8 and then they wouldn't have gotten the map to Luke Skywalker? When she's with BB-8 and they're running from the TIE fighters, why did they shoot at them? What if they had hit BB-8 and blown BB-8 up and then they wouldn't have gotten the map to Luke Skywalker?
So that's fine. I'll accept that. So then I go back to why didn't they shoot in the tunnel?
What do you mean?
One of them is off.
Yeah, the TIE fighter.
Okay.
No, so that's what I'm saying. So therefore, also Force Awakens doesn't make sense because why were they shooting at them? Because when you watch it, it's like, oh, cool, they're running away from TIE fighters. It's exciting because they're shooting at them.
Yeah.
Like, that's why. I don't know. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that's
But
That's
I'm
good.
torn because it's like I also get what you're saying.
I think
I just don't know if it
episode
really
7
matters.
has a lot more that carries it and makes it pay off and makes it forgivable. There's just a lot of stuff piling up in this that makes it unforgivable for me. Just for me. I don't want anyone else to
No.
to hate it or dislike it.
I'm
I'm happy if people are enjoying it.
and that's fair. I'm just genuinely like curious, like if like
It's like episode 8 too. Like
I'm not telling you you're wrong.
Right.
I'm just like, does it matter?
And
like I don't know.
I don't want to tell people who like episode 8 that they're wrong
Yeah.
either. I genuinely have these issues that
Yeah.
make it not work for me, and I'm finding the same things in this, and it upsets me.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And he uses the jetpack. He flies up into the air. He does his little
He makes quick
grappling hook?
work of this TIE fighter.
Yeah. So what do you mean when he blows it up?
He takes it down with relative ease.
He gets on the TIE fighter. They're flying through the air. Moff Gideon's trying to shake him. I think they show inside and he's like trying to like shake him off it. He has one charge that he's about to plant, but then it flies out and blows up midair. And I think we're not sure if he has any other ones, but then they like turn.
No, you see like 4 or 5.
Yeah, he turns. He has like a couple more charges, gets those out, plants it on there. And I was waiting. I was like, ooh, are we going to kill him right now? Like I was looking for the specific explosion of like, is this whole thing going to blow up or is it going to be like the wing blown up? And
It's pretty obvious he's not dead.
the wing blows up. It spins out into the ground. Also, I was thinking of Force Awakens when the TIE crashes.
Yeah.
And,
That one does blow up eventually.
well, that one sinks. Oh, and then it blows up underground.
Yeah.
But I was like, is there going to be an ejector seat or
I thought he was
something?
going to float down on a parachute or something.
That's what I was waiting for, was like something like that. But it crashed and there was no big explosion. And I was like, oh, he must still be in that.
Yeah.
And then they just leave that. We don't need to know right now if he's alive or dead. He took it down. Like for them, he took it down and let's move on. And then this is where he has his infamous landing, coming back down, hits the ground, and
He always come up pretty much just like clapping and patting him on the back. Like,
Yeah.
nice work. That was cool.
Yep. Well, he took down a tie.
I know. I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm so
you're-
bitter. I'm so
I know,
bitter.
It's funny. It's okay. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
that you're so bitter, but it's okay. Look, because we get proof that this is what happens.
Yeah. So Cara Cynthia Dune
Yes.
and Carl Weathers.
Grief Karga.
Cara Cynthia Weathers and Carl Cynthia Weathers. There you go.
And Griefna
Carano.
Ragano.
Caragano. Oh my God.
Something like that.
Sure.
I think are going to get married.
That'd be cool.
No, but I think she's going to stay on this planet now.
She's going to stay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Not become a bounty hunter.
No?
No. I think she pretty much turned that down.
She'll probably become a bounty hunter. Or maybe she can
I don't
just
want
run.
either of them to be bounty hunters anymore.
Maybe she can
that's
just run operations here.
Yeah. Because I think the whole bounty, the guild is kind of set up as being evil in this. They're kind of the enemies. They tried to kill him and Mando.
I would
So
disagree.
I don't want them to go back and join them.
I would disagree. I think the guild are neutral.
They're doing their job.
And I think it's all about the job.
But
And
they're the opposing team for half of this season.
Yeah, they're They're the other side of the conflict. But that's where I'm like, I don't think they're just the bad guys.
But that means that they at some point will be the opposing team for someone we may like.
What do you,
Their job may be to go and get a bounty on someone that is good. Like this.
yeah.
They're going to be tasked to go do more stuff like this.
See, and that's what bounty hunting is. And it's like,
So I don't want them to be bounty hunters.
yeah. I felt like this was the evolution of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like with his helmet coming off.
Because I hope that
everything.
Carl Weathers sees that now. He's like, okay, it's not just ones and zeros.
Yeah.
It's not get it, turn it in, rinse and repeat. Like,
Yeah,
there's more morality in all of this.
I want their characters to continue,
Yeah.
but I don't think they will.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
I mean, he's got a lot of important stuff to go and do.
Yep, I think we're gonna get new people, and I don't know if we're gonna see that band of bandits, anymore.
Prisoners.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like they will bring him back.
They set it up for a possibility. Like, they don't have to come back, but they're still alive just in case they want them to come back.
Yeah.
They just
And
they left that door open.
do we not?
Whatever happened with the end of episode 5?
Yeah, we don't know who that is.
Nope.
It's gonna come back in season 2. There will be an episode where he's on the way back to this planet, and he'll come across that guy, and there will be some kind of meeting. It's just this guy's crazy adventure. Anything could happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to make sense.
Now,
Yeah.
let's talk about the very end.
Yep.
They cut to the TIE fighter. Jawas are picking it apart. It's pretty much still fully intact.
So I was fully anticipating us. Oh, he's still alive. I thought he was gonna break out the front window, but then you see a spark, and I was like, oh, he has some kind of
Welding tool.
imperial welding tool.
Yeah.
And I think I kind of look away for a second, and I see your hands go up.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, did Jordan really think this guy was dead?
Right.
And he's like shocked that he's still alive. And I look back and I'm just like, oh.
The welding tool has now come out
Okay.
like 4 or 5 inches
Yeah.
from the hull of this thing.
And it's distinct.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
noticeable.
If you know what it
immediately.
is.
You immediately know what it is. And it's the
The dark saber.
dark saber, which has a lot of implications. Oh, okay. Well, no, right here. Boom. Purge. That's where they got it.
Yeah.
They
Because
also
the last time chronologically that we've seen it was in the hand of Mandalorians. Is it from Mandalore?
Vizsla. Yep.
Yeah.
A Mandalorian created it to
Okay.
fight against the Jedi.
That's super cool.
because they were such badass
So cool.
warriors, and then the Jedi challenged them, and so they created. I forget what his name was.
And then didn't like Darth Maul even use it at one point?
Well, he was the leader of Mandalore at one point.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Watch Clone Wars. That's
yes,
all I can say.
I highly recommend watching Clone
yeah.
Wars. So I wanted to say real quick, they also touched on Moff Gideon's deal, and he might not be like the whole Empire situation is very up in the air with like there's factions and groups, and like they're not all connected necessarily. And he was a prisoner. He was like a prisoner of the Empire.
Is that what they said?
Something like that.
I
Like he
missed
was in
that.
trouble and now he's in charge again. So there's something more going on with him
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Which I'm very into. Like we've got next season, everything with him, it's gonna have some weight to it. Because now we've seen him kind of in a few episodes, and
Well, yeah, because I'd still like to know what their plan was for this guy.
that's all gonna be next season. There's gonna be stuff with cloning.
I
and
really would have
all
loved for that
kinds
to
of
be
cool
paid
stuff.
off in this too. But I'm okay because I know that's coming. I understand. And
Yeah,
that's-
that was never they were never gonna do that in this season. I think
in episodes 1, 2, and 3 with all of that, and it's like, what are they going to do with them? They're doing these tests. Like that really could have been at least teased as to what was going on in this season.
They could have wrapped it all up and not brought all these people back, but I think it shows that the scope of this, the budget's got to go up for sure.
Yeah.
Because I think the reason they didn't do all that is budget. Like that's why the scope of this was smaller.
Yeah.
It has to be to have like we were back on this planet again, which means that was the set reused for this.
Yeah.
even episode 6 wasn't going to another planet. It was, although that's another set.
It was the same hallway over and over
exactly,
again.
like, although they made it work very well. And then also it's just the different directors. So you've got all these different feels going left and right. Now, this is where I think that is what lends to the overall feeling of this show. We'll see if it's going to be a bunch of different directors for season 2 as well.
Yeah.
For season 2 as well. But like the Obi-Wan show, it's all Deborah Chow.
So I was going to say, my money right now is on Deborah Chow. Because she did, I think, episode 3 and 7.
Yep.
Bangers.
Yep. And so it'll be interesting to see is that the difference? Is it just the different directorial preferences,
right,
or is it the story? Is it who knows? But this was them dipping their toe, and they threw a lot of stuff at the wall, and hopefully they see what stuck and what worked and what didn't work. And there was enough in this last episode for me that to wrap everything up, bring it all around. We got more IG-11. Didn't know if we were going to get more IG-11. We got more him fighting.
Yeah.
And we didn't really mention it, but like even when he comes into town and he does his like twist his top around thing to get Baby Yoda in the back. Like,
yeah, that was cool.
I love seeing how he works.
Yeah.
And hello. What did he do? He had one meme moment with his hand. Oh, he waved. He's like, do the thing with your hand.
Do the hand thing.
And he was just like,
that was pretty great.
I loved it.
I didn't like what Carl Weathers was doing though. Where he's just, I guess that's how you would be, where you just so don't understand what he's doing, and you're like, do the hand thing.
Yeah. They could. It's
just goofy.
It's the tone of the show that they've chosen to go with.
Yeah.
It's almost unlike anything I've seen. I kind of like that. It's weird.
This show is kind of an enigma to me. I'm just like, what?
But I kind of love it for that. Like, genuinely. And you know what? That's fine if I'm in a small camp of people. But
I certainly don't hate it.
Like this is really all I need.
Yeah.
Just that existing and him looking cool.
Yeah.
And flying around in a jetpack.
Yeah.
And I'm normally obsessed with story and like plot holes and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, I think this is what I've not watched a lot of Westerns, but were Westerns like that? It doesn't really all make a lot of sense, but it's just, I'm the hero. And
there's not a whole lot to not make sense in Westerns. It's just good guy, bad guy, shootouts.
It's more simple.
Yeah. Star Wars inherently is pretty complex.
But I don't hold that to the show. But also
they're kind of wrapping themselves in it more than they should have.
By doing this,
they could have made it been its own thing.
I think this was a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh, this is legit and this is amazing.
Yeah.
But also, okay, but now I'm expecting certain stuff.
Yeah.
And we didn't get that. We weren't going to get that. They were never going to get it. It wasn't their plan. And I definitely think it's going to put a lot of people off. I think a lot of people expected more. And that totally fairly. Like, they hyped this show.
Yeah.
But I'm confident in season 2.
I'm still excited for the Cassian show. I'm still stoked for Obi-Wan. I will be excited for season 2 of this. Like, I'm not.
I'm good.
As much as I'm hating on this, I'm no less excited about anything else Disney Plus. I think the Marvel shows will be good.
Yep.
I think all the other Star Wars shows will at least be entertaining.
2020. So I don't know if we said, but season 2, fall 2020, they officially announced.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So a year from now.
I hope that's enough time.
It is. They've already been working on it for sure.
Yeah. Also, I want to give a big thank you to my friend CJ, who has been mentioned on some of our content for my amazing Secret Santa gift this year.
Yes.
Hats
off.
One of his friends, I believe, is a good knitter. And she, without any kind of patterns or anything, made this thing. It's one of a kind.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Any other one I've seen online, like on Etsy, looks really weird.
Yeah.
And I think this thing is friggin' adorable and perfect.
It's perfect.
And he will be a part of the Huber Rebels forever. So He will always be around, watching over us and protecting us.
Who knows where he'll be?
Thank you for watching. If you've watched all of these, we appreciate it. If you've watched any of our content, we appreciate it. This is probably the last thing we're going to do for 2019. I think it's appropriate to finish up Mandalorian in 2019 hand in hand.
I agree.
We're going to come back in 2020 bigger and better than ever. So any of you who have supported us, we really appreciate it. People who have commented regularly, like Levin, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And please stick around. If you like video games, if you like movies, we're going to talk about them a lot more on the Hebrew Rebels podcast, which is just going to keep getting better, I hope, in the next year. And we're going to get more shows like The Mandalorian to keep talking about in the new year. So please stick with us, and we look forward to doing more of this soon. But until then, my name is Jordan.
And my name is Ethan. We are the Hebrew Rebels.
See you next year.
May the Force be with you.